All right. Hello, my name is Greg Dunaway. This is my video for the class project for CNG201. I chose project number 2, and the goal of project number 2 was to create a cron job that would run, well, I think it said on every class day, but since I'm taking online, I just chose Sunday, the day that the project is due. And basically we want to create that cron job, and it's going to run every 5 minutes and check memory usage, and then write that memory usage report to a file called memory.usage stored in the temp file, which you can actually see I have pulled up here already. So this is the cron job I created, but first let's just open another terminal. So the first thing I did was, I actually read the manual page for cron tab, which is where all the cron jobs are stored. So that's a lot of useful information. And in the project description, I was actually already told that we could use cron tab -e to create this job. But it's still nice to read through all this just to make sure that there's no other helpful flags that you're missing out on. -L's nice just to see that the cron job does exist, and we can check that right now just by doing cron tab -L, and you can see that I do in fact have the cron job already running. The next thing I did was I actually found a helpful page on Google here. I just Googled how to create a cron job, however you pronounce it. And then I found this link here, which just had some helpful things, specifically the heads up that I would need to give or edit the permissions on the script once I got it in place. And kind of some useful information about where I can store these scripts. There's actually already files or folders pre-generated for whether or not you're going to have your script run hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. Just kind of a good way to sort out those jobs if you were storing multiple of them. And since I was having one run every Sunday, every week, I went ahead and put my script that I wrote into cron weekly. And then a useful diagram here, which I think they do describe in the manual page as well, about how it has these 5 different fields that control the different times where the cron job is going to be executed. So since if you saw that window I had pulled up on terminal, I actually had only this field because I had it running every 5 minutes, but I got pretty impatient waiting every 5 minutes to check memory usage when I was pulling up extra Firefox tabs and things like that, just to see the numbers change. So I just went ahead and left this one, which would be how I could put 5 here and it'd run every 5 minutes, but I just left this one blank so it'd run every minute all throughout Sunday. So I put 7 here. You could also put 0. 0 and 7 are both Sunday. And then this is kind of how it shows what the cron job will look like. You set those 5 different fields and then the command you want to run during that time frame. So that was interesting and helpful. And then I set out to write the script. So the first task was actually getting it to show memory usage, which I found a useful command by Googling and looking at. There were a couple different commands you could use, but this is the one that seemed the best, and it was actually listed in the project description as well. So I just went ahead and used this, except I added a H flag to make it readable. Otherwise, it just looks like that. And I don't like seeing a bunch of extra numbers if I don't have to, so I use the -H. And then the project says that we actually only want the memory usage and shows us a picture where only that line is shown instead of these swap and category lines. So I went ahead and used the free -H command, but then I ran a grep for capital MEM for memory. Just doing lowercase m there doesn't work. You need it's case sensitive. So that's the output I'm looking for, and after I got this, I realized I need to put it into a script. So I opened a text editor, just the basic text editor here in Red Hat, and then wrote a script, which I'll show you in a minute. And then another thing I noticed is that we're also going to need to include the date in front of each of these logs. So kind of useless to see a bunch of memory files but not know what time that usage was. So running this date command here gives us the date. And with those two pieces, I was able to run or create the script that I will show you now. I'm going to move to that cron.weekly tab or directory, which I believe was here. Let me see. Yep. Cool. And there's my script that I wrote, just called memory check. So if we vim that, here's the script I wrote. I included some information here, and normally I'd include what each of these different commands does, but it's kind of unnecessary. So here you can see I ran that date command, outputs the date, and then second command here that will output just that memory, which I should have opened another tab. And then the other requirement here was we wanted to make sure that any errors from the script are sent to dev null. So that's what that does here. You can actually do, so just sending something to, just having this arrow here is, without the 2 in front of it, is actually just going to send the standard output of the script to dev null. Including that 2 here specifically targets the errors output from this script, because I want the standard output to be sent to that memory.usage file that is being created and is tracking all these memory reports. So we just want the errors to be sent to dev null. So that's how you do that there. And then I just exit this script, and that's it as far as the script goes. But that is what we will be targeting or using in the cron job that's running every minute. So now, once that script is created, we can set about creating the cron job. And the way you can do that is with cron tab E. I already showed you cron tab L, so we know the job exists, but here's where you can edit the different cron jobs that are going on. So just like in that diagram we saw before, here's the different fields: every minute, every hour. I think this is every day of every month, which is kind of interesting. And then every month on Sunday. And then, so this is the first part. And I actually was a little impatient here, and this is one of the reasons why I switched to just having it run every minute, is because it looked like it wasn't actually writing to this memory.usage file. So I was messing with a couple different things, but turns out I'm just a little impatient and I was messing with a few too many things. But here we go, we're running that script in the directory that I just showed you, memory check, and then it's not writing to a file, it's actually appending to a file. If I had only included one of these arrows, it would be rewriting this file every single time it ran, so we wouldn't actually get a full log. It would just be, a log of the last time it ran, which is last minute, so that doesn't really help. So 2 arrows to append to that memory.usage file, which is stored in a temp folder. And we can see here, we can exit out of this. And if we go to that temp folder, and then we can vim memory.usage, and we can see here it's actually been running all the way up until now. So it's still Sunday, and it's doing its thing. Memory usage hasn't changed very much. It doesn't change very much minute to minute when all I'm doing is using one terminal window, but there it is. So that is the end of the project and everything I ran into, but all in all, not too bad, and learned a lot from it. So thanks. Take care.